The Baltic states synchronize their electricity networks with continental Europe. Lithuania welcomes the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, the President of Poland, Andrzej Duda, the President of Estonia, Alarkaris, and the President of Latvia, Edgars Rinkēvičs. The leaders will now deliver their statements to the press. I invite the President of Lithuania, Gitanas Nausėda, to begin.
Good afternoon. Moments ago, I received great news. The synchronization of the Baltic states' electricity system with the continental European system has been successfully completed. This is a historic moment, marking the end of a long journey for Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. From now on, we have achieved full energy independence. The period of political pressure and blackmail is finally over. Lithuania, together with Latvia and Estonia, assumes part of the joint responsibility for frequency control. Soon, new opportunities for boosting renewable energy across our region, implementing new projects and building additional links with continental Europe will follow. I would like to thank President of Poland, dear Andrzej Duda, President of Estonia, dear Alarkaris, and President of Latvia, dear Edgars Rinkēvičs, for the splendid example of a regional cooperation. My sincere appreciation and gratitude also go to the President of the European Commission, dear Ursula von der Leyen, who played a crucial role in making the synchronization of the Baltic states happen. And I also thank everyone who put in their utmost effort for the Baltic states to achieve full energy independence, including current and former country leaders, politicians, diplomats, engineers, technicians, and many others. Together we have proven the strength and determination of the Baltic states and of the whole European Union. Now is the time to secure our achievements. Russia's war against Ukraine has radically transformed the perception of the threats to the critical infrastructure in Europe. Recent incidents involving undersea infrastructure in the Baltic Sea provide a matter of great concern and a call for resolute action as well. Our next important goal is to construct a strategically important electricity link between Lithuania and Poland by 2030. Harmony Link will contribute to stable synchronization operations and electricity trade, providing competitive price for societies and industries. Lithuania appreciates the European Union's political support and funding, and we will spare no effort to look for solutions to accelerate the project. Today we will also engage in further discussions on ensuring the security of the Baltic states' synchronous operation with continental European networks. There is a clear need to prepare substantial action at the European Union level on improving the resilience of all our critical infrastructure. Similarly, the enablers of Russia's hybrid activities that target European critical infrastructure deserve our special attention. Russia's shadow fleet, in particular, must be sanctioned and its movement restricted as much as possible. Lithuania calls on the European Commission and all member states to put more effort into controlling hybrid threats. Let us be more flexible and act faster. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now invite the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, to deliver her remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, dear Gitanas, for hosting us here in Vilnius. Dear Presidents, what a pleasure to be here with you. Today, history is made. We connect the Baltic states to our continental European electricity grid. Electricity lines with Russia and Belarus are being dismantled. These chains of power lines linking you to hostile neighbors will be a thing of the past. This is freedom, freedom from threats, freedom from blackmails, and long before the Russian tanks crossed into Ukraine, you were warning us that the cheap gas brought from Russia has a hidden cost, a cost of dependence. Now Europe as a whole is phasing out Russian fossil fuels. This is a new era. Today we will not only talk about economic security, but also the broader security of our continent. You are very well aware of the challenges. In just 2 months, several cables linking your countries to neighbors have been damaged. There's a pattern, and we cannot ignore it. This is why I welcome NATO's Baltic Sentry initiative launched last month. Now more than ever, Europe and NATO must work in full complementarity. And as discussed with Secretary General Rutte on Monday, I see 4 priorities for securing our critical network infrastructure. The first is prevention, by laying new cables and diversifying our risks. The second is detection, by improving early warning of suspicious activities around these cables. The third is, of course, a fast response and repair. And the fourth is deterrence, with consequences for these actions. Beyond protecting infrastructure, it is time, and even high time, to take our security and defense into our own hands. You are leading by example. Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, and Poland are among NATO's top defense spenders relative to GDP. NATO remains the foundation of our defense, but it is clear that we need an EU-wide surge in defense. Modern warfare requires scale, technology, and coordination, too big for any one nation to handle alone, and this is where European cooperation delivers. We will need funding, both public and private. We discussed that in the European Council at the beginning of the week. We will need more cooperation for better interoperability and lower costs, simpler legislation, more innovation, and more return on investment in the form of increased know-how and good jobs here in Europe. The Commission is preparing a white paper on the future of European defence, and we will present it to leaders by mid-March. This is all the more urgent as the world is changing fast. Our long-time ally, the United States, has set a new agenda. Europe is prepared for a robust but constructive dialogue with the United States amongst growing uncertainties. We are recognizing potential challenges, but we are ready for that, and Europe is firmly staying the course on its global engagements and partnerships. And this is especially true with a very special partner and future European Union member, that is Ukraine. In this new reality, Ukraine needs our support more than ever. So far, Europe has provided 135 billion euros. Our financial support, coordinated with our G7 partners, covers most of this year's funding gap. This gives Ukraine breathing space. It allows them to focus on what matters most, and this is defending their country. One of their most immediate challenges is also energy. While Russia is systematically targeting Ukraine's energy system, we together are supporting Ukraine and repairing at lightning speed. And here again, you are leading by example. Right now, a Lithuanian thermal power plant is being dismantled and send piece by piece to Ukraine to being rebuilt there again. This is what Baltic solidarity in action looks like. And as today we're celebrating your own energy independence, you are paving the way for Ukraine's future energy security. Congratulations to all once again on today's historic landmark, and long live Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President. I now invite the President of Poland, Andrzej Duda, to take the floor.
Mr. President, our dear host, fellow presidents, Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank my friend, President Gitanas Nausėda, for his invitation to Vilnius to witness a truly symbolic moment in the modern history of Central and Eastern Europe and a significant step forward in making our region more secure and resilient. In December 2024, we met in Klaipėda for a flag-raising ceremony over the floating LNG unit Independence. Today, in Vilnius, we will witness the Baltic's integration into the EU electricity grid. Let me congratulate all the Baltic states' presidents and the President of the European Commission on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, what we are witnessing today in Vilnius is indeed a milestone development, not only for the Baltic states, but also for the entire European Union. It is the final step towards emancipation from the post-Soviet sphere of dependence, in this case in the energy sector. It ends Baltic states' membership in the BREL system, which they shared only until today with Russia and Belarus. It is also an important day for Poland, since we serve as a bridge between the Baltic states and the rest of Europe. The synchronization significantly strengthens our own security and sovereignty. At a time when Poland and countries of our region appealed for ceasing energy cooperation with Russia, some EU member states would rely only on boosting such relations. Nord Stream 2 was an example of such shameful voices and decisions based on selfish interests. February 2022 changed it all for the EU. In this context, in terms of energy security and economic resilience, the synchronization of Baltic states' energy grids with the rest of the European Union is instrumental. Dear friends, let us look beyond our region. Interconnections between energy systems of neighbouring states are essential in terms of solidarity and emergency support and a well-functioning internal market. On their own, however, they are not nearly sufficient to ensure energy security, the evidence of which are unusually frequent damages to the energy and digital maritime infrastructure in the Baltic Sea. That is why our today's discussion will focus, inter alia, on the necessity to strengthen the protection of our energy infrastructure, our underwater connectors, offshore assets, but also our on-land grid and power plants. With an emergence of such ambitious projects as a Harmony-Link interconnector between Poland and Lithuania, Via Baltica and Rail Baltica, we urgently need to work out effective measures to protect this critical infrastructure. Countries of our region, the Three Seas region, are looking forward to even more meaningful engagement of the European Commission. We also need to develop strategic relations with the United States. Finally, we need to support Ukraine and strengthen our sanction policy on Russia. These are the subjects of today's discussion, but also the key topics for the 10th Three Seas Initiative Summit and Business Forum in Warsaw in April this year. I would like to take this opportunity and invite all the Three Seas Initiative stakeholders to Poland on the 28-29 April, where we will be discussing the decade of successful growth and resilience building. Once again, congratulations to Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia and the entire EU on this important occasion. It truly is a significant moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now invite the President of Estonia, Alar Karis, to deliver his remarks.
Dear colleagues, Madam President, dear members of the press, thank you, Gitanas, for inviting us here, and thank you all for the exchange of ideas in past, today and in future. I am happy to see that we think alike in many key aspects. The disengagement from Russia's energy grid is both necessary and symbolic. Russia is an unreliable aggressor country and will most likely stay such for a foreseeable future. The Estonian, and I dare say the Baltic experience so far has been that the more we cut our dependency from Russia, the better for our security and sovereignty. We haven't bought Russian electricity already for a long time, but now we, with the synchronization to EU grid, our dependence on Russia's transmission system will end completely. Also, the European Union in general has in the recent years been successful in decreasing its energy dependency from Russia. But all is not yet done. Unfortunately, Europe still buys LNG from Russia, and Russia's shadow fleet is still creating problems for us in the Baltic Sea. And of course, Russia's sabotage campaign against us is still ongoing. Therefore, I call on all the European countries to continue to further increase our independence. I strongly support the goal to stop all Russian energy imports to the EU. Moreover, we should even seriously consider a full trade embargo on Russia, as these are revenues that keep Russia's shadow fleet at sea and what keeps Russia's war machine going. And of course, we have to continue to improve, strengthen and avoid circumvention of European sanctions. And these sanctions have to be in place not until the war is over, but until Russia has fully compensated for all the damages caused to Ukraine. Finally, let me also use the opportunity to thank Latvia, Lithuania, Poland and the European Union for their excellent cooperation in making the synchronization with mainland Europe happen. If we hold on this kind of deep trust and atmosphere of cooperation, I'm sure that all future goals, no matter how ambitious, will become achievable. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now invite the President of Latvia, Edgars Rinkēvičs, to deliver his remarks.
Dear President, President Nausėda, President of Poland, President of Estonia, President of the European Commission, I think we can summarize this day in just one sentence. We did it. It took us some time, it took us some effort, but we did it. And I think that we are closing one chapter in our history and we are opening a new one. I want to use this opportunity to thank all, from technicians to politicians, who made this day possible. I also want to thank the European Commission, the European Union, for the support that you have provided throughout those years. I want also to thank my colleagues from Lithuania and Estonia and Poland, because it was a teamwork, and I think that this also proves that it is possible to achieve resilience through cooperation, that it is possible to achieve goals that we have set back in 2009. But I think also that this is just one step in a broader picture. We all understand all the challenges that we are facing, and all of my colleagues have just mentioned. We do understand that energy security, energy independence is important. But still, the whole European Union should also lead by this example, that we should see that other countries also step up their efforts. When it comes to defence and security, we all understand that it is time for Europe to wake up, to spend more on defence, to increase defence capabilities, to increase defence industry. The Baltic states and Poland are among those who are spending more, but we do hope also that other countries, both within the European Union and NATO, will follow. And of course, we do hope that there is going to be also a day when we are going to welcome Ukraine as part of the European family, that we are going to see the war ending. But here, of course, we have many challenges and many tasks to achieve. So on this day, many thanks to those who made this day happening, and also the work simply continues.
I now kindly invite the leaders to step forward for the joint photo.
Okay.
Thank you all.